Facts about Jinshi that you might not know about. Let's start with the basic ones first and then talk about the ones in the light novel, with spoilers warning, of course. Fact number 1. In the beginning, many people think that he was at least 23 or older, but in reality, he's just an 18-year-old boy acting older than his age. Number 2. He's pretty tall for a Chinese male, their average height being 5'7", but Jinshi is approximately 5'11". He even looked like 6 feet when standing next to Maomao. Number 3. He's not a eunuch, never was and never will be. He made a bet with the emperor over a game of Go, with the condition being that if he lost, he would become the crown prince. However, if he won, he would take the role of a eunuch and oversees the emperor's consort to make sure the emperor's children were well, as most of them die young. Number 4. There are some scenes where we see him and the emperor having a chat like friends or brothers. But Jinshi is in fact not his brother, he is Adwa's son, the emperor's firstborn child, as he was swapped with Lady Anshi's child, his uncle, the child that died due to honey poisoning in Adwa's care. However, I don't think Jinshi or the Emperor know about this as of Volume 6, but there are scenes in Light Novel 8 and 15 that confirms that the Emperor learns about it later and Jinshi had some idea for a long time. Number 5. He would be considered a crybaby, especially when he drinks, as we see him crying holding Maomao when Adwa left and how he started weeping while talking about how the Emperor looked more sad than angry with his decision of not being the crown prince. Fact number 6. As he's the member of the Ka clan, his given name is Ka Sugitsu, though nobody really calls him by that name and mostly refers to him as the Moon Prince. Adwa even calls him Yui, which means the moon. I'm really not sure if I'm pronouncing them right, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Fact number 7. Like Maomao, his hairs and eyes were black in color in the web novel. Number 8. It's a fact that he's close to Gaoshun and Basin, as Ma clan members have been working for the imperial family for a while. But did you know that Basin's mother was also his vet nurse, making Jinshi Basin's milk brother? Number 9. He's a masochist, we know that. But at first, he tried to deny this fact. But after a few volumes, he does realize that he likes it when Mama stares down at him like he's some type of a leech. Number 10. You might have noticed how he never really calls Maomao by her name, because in many cultures it's a sign of closeness, to be on the first name basis with someone. Gyokyo even teased him about this many times, making him slightly flustered. And surprisingly, after the Hunt chapter, he finally had the courage to call Maomao by her name, leaving Gyokyo, Gaoshun, and even Maomao a bit shocked. Number 11. He was a child that grew up too fast. Living with Anshi and being taken care of by Soren and Gaoshun, his toys were the only thing that he got to play with. But even those were often taken away from him because he would get so obsessed with just one toy and would only play with that, which resulted in Soren hiding his favorite toys away from him on Anshi's command. This made him cry a lot, while Gaoshun tried his best to get his attention to something new. Now that he's grown up, we can tell that he never really learned his lesson. Fact number 12. Speaking of Soren, you've noticed that she cares for him very deeply, like he's his own grandson. That's because he is in fact her grandson. Soren was the vet nurse of the emperor and the mother of Lady Adwa, making Jinshi her grandson. She has been with him since his birth, and Maomao thinks he can't do anything without her, which would probably be correct. Number 13. He is beyond beautiful. At some point, I think the manga or the anime can't really justify his appearance because the way Maomao describes him, it feels like he's someone so good looking that no one can actually capture the kind of celestial beauty. Maomao have said that people would start a war for him if he were a woman, and both women and men may faint or swoon over him if he appears in front of them, not to mention his honey voice and perfect smile. Fact number 14. Despite being beautiful, he himself isn't really fond of it. There are times when he would wonder if that's all people see him as. For example, when he escaped the banquet and talked about being mobbed by a woman who would probably be after his imperial blood, and Maomao encountered saying half of it would be because of his looks, he really seemed to dislike that idea. Maybe that's why he didn't really mind when Shisui scarred his cheek. He even started to like it later, especially since it didn't bother Maomao. Number 15. He is well built. Maomao has said that he weighs twice as much as her, and we have all seen how he won against Basin in this scene. Next, not only does he have strength, but he's also politically wise. Even Maomao has admired his quick thinking and planning, such as when he suggested they open a school in the Rare Palace for the maids and the ladies in waiting. Number 17. Despite being smart in politics and taking great care of people, he doesn't really want to be the emperor. Being the only adult male in the Ka clan, he was expected to become the next emperor if something happened to the current emperor. But him being stubborn, he never accepted that responsibility and even went as far as branding himself with Gyokyo's mark to serve her and her children instead of opposing them. Number 18. Many facts contributed to him making this decision. People might think it's because of Maomao that he didn't want to be the emperor, but even before meeting her, he disliked the idea of being the emperor because, like Maomao, he also wants to be free. Number 19. He can be desperate sometimes, whether about finding a solution or about his favorite woman. This desperation often forces him to make questionable decisions. For example, him transforming into a woman for the envoys in Volume 3 might have been out of desperation, or maybe he just can't say no to Mama, her plans, and her charm. Number 20. He's bad at communication. Maybe because most of the time, the person he's talking to doesn't pay attention. The person being Mama, of course. But even when she does pay attention to his words, he can't really speak his mind properly. Mama had pointed out this problem, which have cost her a lot because it led him to lose all the hesitation and be open and clear about his desire for her to be his wife. Fact number 21. He lost to Lacan in Go match. Lacan, who's also Mamo's real father, started this challenge of Go, where the winner would get anything they want from him. Jinshi took part and made it to the final round, while Mamo overthought about the situation, wondering what would Jinshi ask if he'd won against the Monaco freak. Unfortunately, he lost, but he did earn Lacan's respect, and later even took Mamo to the Emperor and Empress Gyokyo, where he confessed his loyalty to the crown and even called Mamo his wife in front of them. 22. He have choked Mama once. Even after he proposed to her, she still doesn't want to be with him and danced with Rikusen, a former attendant of Lacan, at the banquet, wearing the hairstick he gave her. And worst, she suggested that he marry Lady Lishu. His pent-up anger caused him to slightly choke her, trying to have some power over her. But Mama being Mama, she doesn't let that happen. And well, let's just say another one of their moment happens, leaving him even more unsatisfied with her. Oh, that's not all. He have also bitten her more than once. Okay, last fact. He does get better. I haven't completely read past volume 7 properly, but from the little scene I have read, it's clear that he gets better at controlling his emotions, especially when it comes to Maomao. He no longer acts like an untamed dog. Maomao words, not mine, whenever Maomao is alone or close to him. That's it for now. There isn't much about him, as the novels are mostly written from Maomao's point of view. But if I missed something, or if you have read ahead of me, feel free to share some of the new facts about him. Till then, take care of yourself and goodbye.
No, you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change.